You're sitting at your kitchen table on a Sunday morning, coffee getting cold, staring at your 401k balance. You do the mental math. Again, at this rate, you'll have maybe $500,000 by retirement. Maybe. Your neighbor just retired at 62, paid off house, new truck in the driveway, month-long trip to Italy planned. You make about the same income he always did, same neighborhood, same type of job. So what did he do differently? Here's what I eventually figured out. People who retire with $3 million don't make $3 million decisions. They make 11 decisions over and over and over. And the gap between a $500,000 retirement and a $3 million retirement isn't luck, inheritance, or a six-figure salary. It's 10 specific habits that sound almost boring when you hear them. But here's the thing. Boring builds cathedrals. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not selling you a course. I spent my 30s financially confused, mixing up Roth and traditional IRAs, wondering if I'd started too late, and Googling, how much do I really need to retire at 2A? What changed for me was studying the actual patterns of people who made it to retirement with serious wealth, not Instagram gurus. Real middle-class Americans who worked normal jobs and retired with 2 million, 3 million, sometimes more. I started interviewing them, reading their stories, tracking their decisions, and I found the same 10 habits showing up again and again. So let me introduce you to two people. Sarah and Mike both turned 35 in 2005. Both lived in Ohio. Both made around $65,000 a year. Both had employer 401k plans with a 4% match. Both wanted to retire comfortably. Fast forward to 2024. Sarah just retired at 54 with $3.2 million. Mike is still working. He's got $480,000 saved. He's stressed. He thinks he'll need to work until 68, maybe 70. Same starting point. Wildly different endings. The difference wasn't income. It wasn't luck. It wasn't some secret stock pick. It was 10 habits Sarah did differently. And those habits worked like laying bricks, one at a time, every single week, for decades, until she'd built a cathedral. Here's the first thing Sarah did that Mike didn't. In 2005, Sarah set up automatic contributions to her 401k before she felt comfortable. She started at 10%. It hurt a little. She had to skip a few dinners out, drive a car another year. Mike also contributed, but he did it manually when he could. Some months 6%, some months nothing. By 2010, Sarah had $52,000 in her 401k. Mike had $31,000. The Fidelity Research Institute found that people who automate their retirement contributions save 60% more over their lifetimes than those who contribute manually. 60%. Let that sink in. Sarah wasn't smarter. She just removed the decision. Every 2 weeks the money moved before she could spend it. Mike kept deciding, and every decision is a chance to say, maybe next month. Here's where Sarah started pulling ahead. Every time she got a raise, she increased her 401 contribution by half the raise amount. 2% raise? She bumped her contribution by 1%. She still felt the raise, but half of every increase went to her future self. Mike celebrated his raises. New TV. Better vacation. He thought, I'll increase my 401k next year when I'm more stable. Next year never came. By 2015, Sarah was contributing 15% of her income. Mike was still at 6%. And here's habit 3. Sarah always captured the full employer match. That's free money, a guaranteed 100% return. Mike sometimes didn't hit the match threshold. He thought he'd make it up later. A 2021 study from the Employee Benefit Research Institute found that 24% of American workers don't contribute enough to get their full employer match. They're leaving an average of $1,036 per year on the table. Over 30 years. That's $40,000 in free money they never picked up. Think about that for a moment. Sarah picked up every dollar. Mike left thousands behind. Here's where it gets interesting. In 2008, Sarah opened a Roth IRA. Even though she had a 401k, she contributed $4,000 that year, then $5,000 the next. Mike thought, I already have a 401k. Why would I need another account? But Sarah understood something powerful. The 401k is tax deferred. You pay taxes when you withdraw in retirement. The Roth IRA grows tax-free forever. By spreading contributions across both, Sarah was building tax diversification. In retirement, she could pull from her 401k up to a certain tax bracket, then pull from her Roth for the rest, paying way less in taxes. Mike put all his eggs in one tax basket. And here's habit 5. Sarah thought in decades. When the market crashed in 2008, she didn't panic. She kept contributing. She saw it as a sale. Mike panicked. He stopped contributing for 2 years. He locked in his losses mentally. By 2012, Sarah's account had recovered and grown. Mike was still trying to catch up, one brick at a time. That's how you build a cathedral. Sarah had a rule. Live on 80% of your income. Save and invest the other 20%. It didn't matter if she made $65,000 or eventually $95,000. 80% was her lifestyle cap. Mike's lifestyle grew with his income. Bigger house, nicer cars, private school. He made more, but he saved the same amount. Lifestyle inflation is the silent killer of retirement dreams. And here's habit 7. Sarah avoided comparing herself to her peers. She didn't care that her friends bought new cars every 3 years. She drove a paid-off Honda until the wheels fell off. Mike wanted to look successful. He financed the image. Sarah built a reality. And habit 8. This one's huge. Sarah tracked her net worth every quarter. Not her salary. Not her home value. Her total assets minus total debts. She watched that number grow. It became a game. Mike tracked his income and felt successful when he got raises. But his net worth barely moved because his spending moved with it. By 2020, Sarah's net worth was $1 million. Mike's was $390,000. Same income for most of their careers. Totally different cathedrals. Let's put numbers to this. Sarah, aged 35 in 2005, started contributing 10% of $65,000 at $6,500 a year to 401k. Employer match, 4% at $2,600 a year. Total year 1, $9,100. She increased contributions by 1% per year. She added a Roth IRA, $5,001 year average. By age 45, 2001, 1550, 401k balance, 201, 1515, 401k balance, 201k balance, +8 7. Total, $355,000. By age 54, 2024, 401k balance, $2,350,000. Roth IRA balance, $50,000. Taxable brokerage, $350,000. Total, $350,000. Average annual return, 5%. Nothing crazy, just consistent contributions. Decades of compounding. Mike's journey contributed inconsistently, average 6% annually. No Roth IRA. Panicked in downturns. Total at 54, 480,000. Read that again. Sarah, $2 million. Mike, 480,000. The difference wasn't income. It was habits. Let that sink in. Here's what Sarah did that most people ignore. Habit 9. She planned for healthcare costs before retirement. She maxed out her HSA health savings account every year starting at age 45. Triple tax advantage. Deductible going in. Grows tax-free. Withdrawals for healthcare are tax-free. By retirement, she had $85,000 in her HSA just for healthcare. Medicare doesn't cover everything. She knew that. Mike never opened an HSA. He'll be paying healthcare costs out of his $480,000 nest egg. And, habit 10, Sarah planned to delay Social Security until age 70. Every year you delay from 62 to 70, your benefit increases by about 8%. At 70, she'll get 77% more per month than if she claimed at 62. Mike will probably claim early because he needs the money. Smaller checks. Forever. Here's what nobody talks about. Most retirement advice tells you to just start investing. But the uncomfortable truth is this. Reaching a $3 million retirement has almost nothing to do with investing skill. It has everything to do with behavior. Sarah didn't beat the market. She didn't pick winning stocks. She didn't time anything. She just automated good behavior and let time do the heavy lifting. The financial industry doesn't want you to know this because there's no product to sell. You don't need a fancy advisor for this. You need patience, consistency, and boring habits. The cathedral isn't built with 1 gram brick. It's built with 10,000 ordinary ones. But how do you actually survive this phase? Maybe you're reading this and thinking, I'm 48. I have 130,000 saved. I'm so far behind. I think the honest answer is this. You're not building the same cathedral Sarah built. And that's okay. But you can still build something beautiful. Here's how you survive the psychological weight of starting late or feeling behind. Strategy 1. Reframe the goal. You don't need 3 million. You need enough to cover your specific life. Run your actual numbers. Social Security plus, your savings plus part-time work if needed. Most people can retire comfortably on way less than they think. If you're saving 20% of your income, you're doing better than 85% of Americans. That's worth celebrating. Strategy 3. Stop comparing timelines. Sarah started at 35. You started at 50. Different races. Both worth running. Your finish line might be 68 instead of 54. That's still a finish line, and it's still worth crossing. Let me speak to 3 groups directly. If you're in your 30s or early 40s, you have time to build the whole cathedral. Your one action, automate 15% of your income into retirement accounts today, right now. Your mindset shift. Every dollar you invest now is worth 10-15 at retirement. You're not sacrificing, you're multiplying. If you're in your 50s, you're in the power decade, your peak earning years. Your kids might be out of the house. Your expenses might be dropping. Your one action, increase your 401k contribution by 5% this month. If you're over 50, you can contribute up to $30,500 a year to your 401k in 2024. Use it. Your mindset shift, it's not too late. It's half-time. And half-time adjustments win championships. If you're in your 60s or starting late, you're not building a cathedral. You're building a beautiful chapel. And that's enough. Your one action. Open a Roth IRA if you're still working. Contribute what you can. Delay. Social Security as long as possible. Your mindset shift. Retirement isn't about a number. It's about covering your life. And your life might cost less than you think. Here's what I've come to believe. The 3 million retirement isn't about the money. It's about the person you become while building it. Sarah didn't just build wealth. She built discipline, patience, a long-term mindset. She learned to delay gratification, to ignore the noise, to trust the process. And when she walked away at 54, she wasn't just financially free. She was mentally free. Because she'd spent 20 years laying bricks. One habit at a time. One decision at a time. And the cathedral she built? It's not made of dollars. It's made of peace of mind. If this helped you see retirement differently, I'd love for you to subscribe. I break down money topics like this every week for real people trying to figure this stuff out. No hype, no get rich quick, just honest breakdowns of what actually works. Thanks for watching. And remember, you're not behind. You're just getting started.